This is a jiu-jitsu or submission wrestling tournament, and I'm going to be going against a man here in the 170 and below weight class for beginners. And I managed to see an opening there and got a double leg takedown. Now, the danger of those is that people can get guillotines, which is what he got on me here. Guillotine choke is can be a pretty deadly, dangerous choke. Fortunately, I was able to reach up in there and grab on around his wrist area and to create just enough space there that I could still breathe. I mean, my head did kind of feel like it was going to pop, and it was hard to breathe. But sometimes if you're just patient and you kind of wait through the pain, and you just tighten your neck up a lot, you can sometimes last these things out. Now, his coach was giving him some great advice during this. I was listening to his coach say things like, okay, tighten up your abs on this side, turn him in this way, and he was following his coach's advice, repositioning his legs. You see how I got my head off to the side like that? That really made it a lot tighter, which was a lot harder for me to get out of. I still had to hold on to his wrist to try to prevent him from getting it. And I have some experience being in this choke before. I was able to hold long enough to make his arm tired, which is what my hope was. And then I was able to pull out of it. So now he's lost that choke. And I'm trying to get up here to stack him, but he's holding on to my neck pretty tight. And he goes for a Kimura here. But I managed to kind of straighten my arm out, get out of the Kimura, and managed to stay safe. That Kimura is kind of a dangerous arm lock from behind that kind of breaks your arm there, your shoulder. And he's doing a good job keeping me close, trying to keep control. I'm pushing my way through his arms, trying to. My hope is to pass his guard, but he's doing such a good job turning here. He almost flips me over, and I really had to be careful, stay on my base. I had to kind of give up on trying to pass his guard for a minute because he was doing such a good job flipping me. And then he was able to pull me back in close again. So if I remember correctly, neither of us had any points. I might have gotten some points for that takedown, but I needed to score points here. So I was kind of desperate to figure out something to do and trying to get some points. So here I'm creating, trying to create some space there in front of my head to get away from him because he's pulling my head down so tight against his chest. He's trying to bring me down so that he can, get his legs up and do some kind of triangle choke. Now, the ref had us reposition here because we're getting close to that computer screen. He doesn't want us to knock over the table. So he's repositioning. I'm in his guard, and he's got to run the back here. Again, I'm repositioning. I'm standing up pretty tall. Now, he could grab onto my legs here, and which you can see he's reaching around to do. If he does that, that's a pretty devastating move. I managed to pull out of it, preventing him from doing it by getting a good grip on his neck. And he's still got a good guard. I'm trying to wear out his legs a little bit, hoping that that'll loosen up that guard so I can get some moves in. I'm trying to do things like wrist locks and knuckle chokes and things like from the front. He's not letting me do it. Now, one thing that I didn't mention here in the beginning is that I've already had, I think, 7 fights at this point in the same day. And I am really, really tired and really worn out there. Finally break his guard, trying to get around. I do kind of manage to pass it, but he gets his legs wrapped around me again, kind of gets me back there. So had kind of a moment of excitement, but it did not come to fruition for me as I was hoping that it would. And he almost got a dangerous move there on me. He could have gotten a triangle on me. He could have, gone for an arm bar. There's a lot of things he could have done from there. So I'm trying to apply some pressure on his neck. I'm also just trying to survive here because I am very, very gassed. Now, he just gave me a warning because I had been stalling there because I'm exhausted. So here he is. He's trying to go up, get a triangle on me. He's trying to get a move on me, and I am he goes for a move. I managed to throw him to the side, get side control, which is a much more dominant position. I'm going to try to pass guard here and get some points. I need some points. Doesn't work. He stands up. He goes for a takedown. I'm able to reverse it and get on top again, which is something a move that I've been practicing quite a bit. I've become fairly proficient at it. And he stands up. He's a really good fighter. This guy's strong. He knows what he's doing. I've made a little bit of points now at this time. From there were some of the reversals and things like that. I think I'm a little bit ahead, but not much ahead. So I think I'm just kind of trying to, survive at this point. My arms feel like jello. I was barely able to hold my phone earlier because my arms were so exhausted from all the fights in one day. If I can just prolong this, I remember my son calling out, hey, Dad, you got 1 minute left, 30 seconds left, and I am counting down because I am so tired. And there, the timer ran out. I was ahead in points by just a few points. He did a great job, great fighter, very solid, really a good match.